Now, breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
And that breaking news story, 2 young people shot. So far, no arrests have been made. The WRAL breaking news tracker captured the 2 scenes police believe are connected.
And it is another rainy start to the day. Looking at a few scattered showers. We'll walk through the timeline and let you know when this moves out.
An Amber Alert in our state has been lifted. The investigation this morning now states away. Well, certainly, I hope you had a restful weekend as you're joining me this morning here in WRAL News. I'm Chris Lovingood. We'll go ahead and swing right into today's weather maker. Well, I guess it is a weather maker as well because things are rainy right now, Elizabeth.
A wetter weather maker. How many times can you say that in a row, right? Yes, more rain showing up. It's mostly light and patchy at this point. It was heavier overnight last night. Coming up, we'll talk about what some of those rainfall totals were. But it's messy as you're heading out the door. Just a little bit of light patchy rain. You can see that on the camera lens as we look across downtown Raleigh, down Jones Street, past the Museum of Natural Sciences. It is 53 degrees. Right now, our wind is out of the northeast, but once our front moves through, our winds will shift to northwesterly. But we're definitely on the tail end of the rain right now. We'll see that chance diminishing rapidly as we get through the morning commute. And by the afternoon, we should see a little bit of sunshine breaking out. So we'll end up with a pretty nice day, especially with some mild temperatures climbing into the mid 60s. So again, grab that umbrella as you're heading out the door, but it is slowly pushing out of here. And then we're going to be tracking the return of some windy conditions and some chilly air. And we may see some more patchy frost. Show you when that arrives coming up.
All right, we'll see you in just a little bit. Thanks, Elizabeth. Let's get back to that breaking news story. Overnight, 2 people under the age of 18 were shot in Fayetteville. And Ali Kadlabar is at the Fayetteville Police Department and the WRAL breaking news tracker. Ali, police found the victims at 2 different scenes.
Chris, police found one of them at a mobile home and another at a cookout restaurant. And now police are going through that evidence, trying to figure out how 2 juveniles ended up shot. And this is video from the WRAL breaking news tracker from that scene. It shows officers taking pictures and investigating a mobile home. It's on Banner Elk Drive. This is where police say they found 1 juvenile shot last night, and about a mile away, officers found another juvenile shot at the Cookout restaurant off Cliffdale Road. Police on the scene told us that no one has been arrested. We're trying to figure out the extent of the injuries that these juveniles are facing right now, and as well as what led up to this shooting. Reporting live in Fayetteville, Ali Kadlabar, WRAL News.
And we have this breaking update. A statewide Amber Alert for a Western North Carolina teenage girl is over. She was found in Ohio. Around 1 this morning, the Mitchell County Sheriff's Office announced 15-year-old Nevaeh Patton was found. They say federal and local authorities have them in their care. Now, Patton was reported missing yesterday morning, and the Sheriff's Office has not yet said, though, what led up to the Amber Alert being issued. Today, a man is due in court after a 4-year-old picked up a loaded gun and shot himself. Police in Durham say the man left the gun out unattended. Let's go ahead and bring in Kelsey Coffey. She's at the Durham Police Department this morning. Kelsey, at last check, that child is in critical condition.
Yes, Chris, 52-year-old Patrick Day is scheduled to appear in court later this morning. Durham police spent hours investigating yesterday after that 4-year-old shot himself. Here's a look at Day. He's accused of leaving a loaded 9mm pistol unattended. A 4-year-old picked it up and shot himself. You're looking at video from that scene on Linwood Avenue. At last check, that child is in critical condition but is stable. WRAL has previously reported on children getting a hold of guns. Back in August, a Durham woman was charged with involuntary manslaughter after her 4-year-old son accidentally shot himself with her unsecured gun. Day is scheduled to appear in court at 8:45 this morning, and we'll be sure to keep you updated on that 4-year-old's condition. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Durham.
Certainly hope that child pulls through. Thank you, Kelsey. All lanes of P Street are back open this morning after a box truck hit the bridge last night. And video from the WRAL breaking news tracker shows the truck stopped in the middle of the road after it didn't clear the bridge. Well, some of the truck's roof was removed when it hit the bridge, but there was no visible damage to the bridge itself. And new this morning, a federal judge has extended an order blocking President Trump from sending National Guard troops to Portland, Oregon. The judge's decision blocks troops from being deployed until at least Friday. The state of Oregon and the city of Portland say the administration broke the law. They claim that the administration did that by federalizing members of the Oregon and California National Guards. President Trump says the troops are needed to protect government buildings and ICE agents. This week, the Supreme Court will hear arguments on whether President Trump's tariff policy is legal. The case will consider whether the president had the legal authority by using the International Emergency Economic Powers Act. That law gives the president the ability to set tariffs during a national emergency. American businesses have paid nearly $90 billion to cover the tariffs being challenged. A 28-year-old man was found shot to death outside a business in Durham, and the sheriff's office identified him as Alberto Flores. He was found dead on Guest Road shortly after 8 a.m. The sheriff's office has not released any information about possible suspects. A motorcycle rider is dead after a crash in Clayton. That happened Saturday afternoon on Amelia Church Road near Springwood Place, if you're familiar. Police say 31-year-old Alex Arbel's motorcycle hit a Jeep. He fell off and a car hit him, but no charges have been filed. A Clayton police officer responding to that scene was injured in a separate crash. It happened on Amelia Church Road near Veterans Parkway. The officer was treated at a hospital and then released, but no one else was injured. Today, you can help shape the future of transit in Wake County. The city of Raleigh will host its first open house on the Bus Rapid Transit Southern Corridor project, and that project will provide quicker transportation between the city and Garner. At least that's the hope. The city will share an update on the bus station, pedestrian bridge, and possible schedules. Today's open house is from 5 to 7 p.m. at the City of Raleigh Museum. The next one will be November 17th at Peach Road Cultural Center. Civil rights leader William Barber spoke out in Wilson against the Republican plans to withdraw congressional voting map in North Carolina. Barber addressed a mixed audience yesterday. It included Black, white, and Latino members. He says the maps intentionally dilute Black and Latino voting strength. The new map will draw Representative Don Davis out of District 1 and put him in District 3. That would essentially give Republicans an advantage in next year's midterms. Barber believes the way the Republican legislators are redrawing the map, it's unconstitutional.
They chose the one that has the majority of the county to have over 40% African American, and they chose to do it in a way that would undermine the ability of the district to elect an African American in a district that had been historically denied.
Now, the new map is already facing legal challenges, and more lawsuits are expected, including one from Barber himself. Happening today, the 73rd season of ACC men's basketball tips off tonight, and two teams here in the Triangle are back on the court to kick off their season. NC State will host North Carolina Central tonight. The Pack has high expectations, especially for head coach Will Wade, who joined the team back in March, and for Darian Williams, named ACC Preseason Player of the Year. Tip-off tonight at Lenovo Center is at 7 p.m. Also, UNC tips off tonight against Central Arkansas. The Tar Heels are ranked 25 in the AP preseason poll, and that game gets started at 7 p.m. at the Smith Center in Chapel Hill. Meanwhile, Duke men's basketball kicks off their season tomorrow night. The Blue Devils are coming off 2 exhibition wins last week against UCF and Tennessee. They're set to take on Texas tomorrow at the Spectrum Center in Charlotte, and tip-off is at 8:45. Meanwhile, on the women's side of the ACC, the action also gets started today for UNC and Duke. The Tar Heels will host NC Central today at 11 a.m. The 7th-ranked Blue Devils will play the 16th-ranked Baylor Bears in Paris, France, and that game gets started at noon. And then tomorrow, 9th-ranked NC State will host 8th-ranked Tennessee. That game will be at the Greensboro Coliseum, and tip-off is at 4 p.m. A lot of basketball happening. All right, today in Fayetteville, teams will start to lower the water level at Mirror Lake, and this is to prepare for a safety inspection for the dam on Thursday. The process is something that's pretty normal, and the water level will be raised once this is all complete. Over in Wayne County, the school board will work on the district's cell phone policy today. Schools across North Carolina are looking to limit student cell phone use after a new state law passed that requires all school districts to have one. Well, this afternoon's meeting is going to talk about this, and it starts at 3:30. Your time is 4:39. Election day tomorrow. It's your turn to decide local leaders across North Carolina. What's on the ballot this week, and how to find your polling place. Plus, field party pushback. Today, families in Person County will oppose massive gatherings like this one publicly. How they will share with local leaders today, we'll dive in. Rain, go away. It's here, though, as we're giving you a live look over downtown Apex. Just ahead, meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner will show us when the showers move out and the frosty mornings return.
From the WRAL Severe Weather Center, North Carolina's most experienced team of meteorologists.
4:43, waking up to a few isolated showers out there, and these may last for the next few hours. So there's definitely going to be some impact for their morning commute. It looks like we'll probably at least have wet roads out there, if nothing else, but just some light patchy rain. Again, some windshield wipers, some rain, of course, continued overnight last night. So there may be some puddles from last night's rain. Temperatures are warmer than they were this time yesterday, considerably, actually. 54 in Wilson, 53 in Durham, and 55 degrees in Fayetteville right now with cloudy skies and, of course, some scattered showers. You may need a raincoat or an umbrella heading out the door this morning, but you won't need it for long. This rain is definitely on its way out, and once it moves out, it's going to be windy this afternoon, but we'll end up with some sunshine. This morning, you may want to take it to the gym. We're going to see some light patchy rain. It's kind of wet outside, but this afternoon, the sun breaks out. Temperatures will be in the mid-60s, maybe better for getting out and exercising. We do have a driving shot out there this morning as well to show you. This is from the Beltline, and you can see windshield wipers are going. This is the way it looked when I drove in to work this morning. Pretty messy out there, and yeah, we're going to be dealing with it for a few hours, and then of course we'll end up with some sunshine. I'll show you what happens with our temperatures when we see that clear sky return coming up.
All right, sounds good, Elizabeth. Thank you. Multiple people were injured in a knife attack aboard a train in England. This happened Saturday on a train that was headed to London. 11 people were hurt and 2 have life-threatening injuries. Police arrested 2 men over this attack. They say both of them are UK-born citizens in their 30s. Investigators are still working to uncover a motive. They do say it appears that this is not an act of terrorism. Early voting is now over in North Carolina, so if you want to make your voice heard, there's still Election Day tomorrow. There are more than 500 cities and towns in North Carolina, and almost all have an election tomorrow for mayor, town council, or both. Those choices could affect everything from growth and development strategies to property tax rates, local parks, even public safety. You can go to WRAL.com for our guide on where and how to vote, plus ways to learn more about the candidates. Today, Person County families will bring up concerns about field parties at the county commissioners meeting. And this is happening because of thousands of people who showed up to an off-campus party to celebrate NC Central's homecoming. Now, NC Central did not sponsor this party. Neighbors say the large gathering, it was such a headache, and they say it is unclear whether the property owner plans to apply for the right permits to continue using the land for these kinds of parties. Tonight's meeting runs from 6 to 8 p.m. President Trump appeared on 60 Minutes for his first interview on that show in nearly 5 years. It was recorded Friday, a year to the day since he filed a lawsuit against the program for its pre-election interview with Kamala Harris. In the interview, the president fielded questions on topics from tariffs to immigration to the government shutdown, and he stood firm by his position that the demands from Democrats that the Affordable Care Act subsidies should be extended is unreasonable.
Obamacare is terrible, and we can fix it with the Democrats. All they have to do is let the country open, and we'll fix it.
Now, the wide-ranging interview also covered topics including cost of living, foreign policy challenges, and concerns about the possible use of the military to combat crime in American cities. This morning, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth is in South Korea. He visited the demilitarized zone border that it shares with North Korea. He's also expected to speak with South Korean leaders about Washington's goal of reshaping the role of U.S. troops there. All right, got to show you some new images, providing a fresh perspective of the damage from Hurricane Melissa in Jamaica. At least 28 deaths were reported there. Strong winds plus the storm surge led to severely damaged homes and public infrastructure. In the Caribbean as a whole, more than 60 deaths were reported. And Hurricane Melissa is one of the strongest hurricanes in the Atlantic to make landfall ever. Just tragic when you look at all the loss of life there, Elizabeth. I know here, stateside, it's obviously a lot quieter, though we do have some rainfall that you're tracking right now.
We do, and it's moving out. As you take a look here, we start this off at about 10 o'clock last night and move it forward, and you can see it's thinning out, but it hasn't quite ended, so it is going to be wet. Of course, with the rain last night, the streets are wet, and now we still have just a little light patchy rain that's lingering. It may linger for the next couple of hours and then moves on out, and we'll see some sunshine by the end of the day today. You can see just a little bit of light patchy rain around the triangle from Durham and Raleigh over towards Sanford and Dunn, Rocky Mount, Wilson, and up toward the Virginia line. We take a look at Futurecast. Futurecast is a little bit more aggressive than what's really happening out there, so I think we'll probably see the rain tapering off a little faster than this, but we're looking at some cloud cover lingering this morning, and then gradually we'll start to see the sunshine returning. So we do have a 50% chance right now, but that drops pretty quickly by 7 a.m. to 30%, and then down to 20% between 9 and lunchtime. And then after that, some sunshine. What happens after that? The wind begins to pick up, and the temperatures start to fall again with a chance for some patchy frost. This afternoon, winds gusting between 20 and 30, and we'll have some patchy frost, it looks like, for Tuesday and Wednesday. Here's a look outside right now. No water on the camera lens here in downtown Raleigh. 53 is our temperature as we take a look from the North Carolina Museum of Natural Sciences. Our wind's fairly light right now at around 5 miles per hour, but we will see those peak gusts at 20 to 30. It's not likely to knock down trees or power, but of course it may knock some leaves off the trees and create more work for you in the yard in the next several days. Our temperatures are mostly in the low to mid 50s right now. 53 in Apex and Garner, 53 in Knightdale. And again, that's a lot warmer than this time yesterday, anywhere from 15 to 20 degrees warmer. Around town this afternoon, temperatures will be in the mid to upper 60s, 66 in Raleigh, 69 in Fayetteville, with increasing sunshine. At the bus stop the next several mornings, it will be much colder. We're in the mid 50s now, looking at 42 tomorrow morning and 40 on Wednesday morning. And that's when we could also see some patchy frost. So keep that in mind. Afternoons are looking really nice, though. Wednesday at 71. We're looking at 73 Saturday. And then our next best chance of rain doesn't come until Sunday. Chris?
All right, thanks, Elizabeth, for that forecast for us. Your time is 4:49. Diabetes awareness. November puts a spotlight on people who live with diabetes. Why doctors say a type 1 diagnosis can come with mental health struggles. Plus, parade balloons. We're getting a first look at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. That sneak peek from the test run this weekend. All right, so November is all about diabetes awareness. The CDC says about 1 in 10 people nationwide has it. Both type 1 and type 2 diabetes requires people to make lifestyle changes. But people with type 1 diabetes need to take insulin every day to survive, either through injections or through pumps. Psychologists say having to constantly manage type 1 diabetes, it can lead to burnout, depression, and anxiety.
Found in that population, the rate of mood symptoms is 2 to 3 times in a population without type 1 diabetes. They're making so many decisions per day, it gets exhausting.
And mental health experts say anyone struggling with these feelings should talk to their loved ones and professionals too. New movies and new music. David Daniels shares an album release and some upcoming films in today's Hollywood Minute.
Oh, cool. We're trying.
Keanu Reeves has a lot to deal with in his next sci-fi film. He's set to star in Shiver from Deadpool director Tim Miller. The Hollywood Reporter says details are sparse, but it's believed to be about a smuggler dealing with a deadly double-cross, hungry sharks, and a time loop.
It was so cool.
Keeping up with the Joneses as Bridgets. Daisy Edgar Jones from Twisters and Amelia Jones from Coda are reportedly set to star in Bad Bridgets, about 19th century sisters who flee famine-ravaged Ireland for New York. Filming is planned for Ireland and Northern Ireland next spring.
Head high, arms wide, aching, 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 and
Florence and the Machine have a Halloween hit. The group released its latest album, Everybody Scream, on Friday, and a Billboard poll published that day named the album music fans' favorite new release of the week. The band plans a tour supporting the album, launching in February in Belfast and reaching the U.S. in April. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
All right, so check out this sneak peek at some of the new balloons that will be flying above the streets of Manhattan on Thanksgiving. Volunteer handlers did a test run Saturday ahead of the 99th annual Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Now, some of the balloons seen included, there's some pretty cool ones, Mario, Pac-Man, Buzz Lightyear, even Shrek. The balloons are as tall as 3- and 4-story buildings, and you can see all the balloons during the parade starting at 8:30 a.m. That is on Thanksgiving morning on WRAL. Martha Stewart is bringing her expertise to Crumble. She's taken over the chain's entire menu this week with 7 new desserts. The culinary collaboration celebrates the reissue of Stewart's first book, Entertaining, including the chocolate tart cookie, the coconut layer cake, mile high, lemon pie that is, and chocolate chip cookie thin. See, that's just mean to make me read that this morning. Now I want some cookies, right? All right, your time is 4:56. We're following breaking news from overnight. 2 young people shot. So far, no arrests have been made. And at 5, the 2 scenes police believe are connected. Plus, 4-year-old shot. Police in Durham say a man left a gun out unattended. The court appearance we expect today. And SNAP benefit update. Tens of millions of Americans are still waiting for their November SNAP benefits. Today's deadline for the Trump administration's action.